Okay,
Okay.
we got June here. And the first question we're going to ask you just can you tell me about your life, where you grew up, and such? Just tell me a little bit about your life growing up.
Okay. My name is June Diane Winter Deutscher. I married a German fella, and he was in the National Guard, very military, and I am a little military too. I had a Girl Scout troop, Brownies and Girl Scouts, and I loved taking them to camp and doing things with them. And I believe in law and order, so you can tell by this I'm very conservative. And anyway, I grew up in the country. Was born in a farmhouse out in the country. They had a doctor there, I guess, but anyway. Besides, I don't know if I even mentioned, this is April 9th, 2023. And I am a month less than, well, in June I'll have a birthday and I will be 92 years old. So I am old and set in my ways. So I'm bound to tell you what I think if you ask me questions. And I lived on the farm with my parents until I was 18 years old. Got married when I was 19 and a half. And before I know it, I had a child, Deborah. Then I had another one, Barbara. And then I had another one, Della D. And after Della D, I guess we had Dinah. So poor Burville, who wanted a baseball team, boys, boys, all he got was girls, girls. So, but a couple of the girls played softball, and he managed the team, and so we had a lot of fun with that and things like that. Well, then the girls grew up and they got married, and Debbie's the oldest, and she had boys and girls. Barbie did not have any children, and right now, I'll tell you a little later, it's a sad time about Barb. And then there's Della D. Oh, she's a quirker, Della D. That's my third daughter. And she has a son that's, oh, he's a quirker too. He likes to tease Grandma and call me an old hen. And I got words for him too, but we have a good time. And I give him questions to answer. And then we have little Sabrina. Sabrina and Paul are sister and brother. And Sabrina's very headstrong. And I think she gets a lot of it from her dad. But her mother was headstrong too when she was little. And her mother is a very intelligent woman. She gives gas or anesthesia, I should say, for surgeries and things like that. So don't underestimate Della. And they helped, Dan and Della helped Sabrina get through school, traveled to Florida with her, and she's a speech teacher now. And anyway, Dinah, my youngest one, lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and she always wanted to have with her boys. She has two boys, and one is a doctor, and the other one loved football more than anything. And Dinah's still waiting for them to get married because she would love to have a little granddaughter and put ribbons and bows in her hair, but no such luck. So that's the way that goes. So that's what we're waiting for. Can
you tell me about your bloodline? Like, where are you from? Like, where's your family from? Like,
my family?
Yeah.
My mother is full Norwegian. So us Norwegians like our lutefisk and lefse.
Yeah.
And we have, I eat lutefisk too. I go to churches and eat lutefisk rolled up into lefse. My dad came from Pennsylvania. I mean, his father did, but his father was more or less a Quaker type, that type of religion or form, and he thought it was too strict a life, so he hopped on a freight car and traveled from Pennsylvania to Wisconsin and that was where he met my mother. And they had a good life, but they had a tough life. They were on the farm, see, so that's kind of my heritage a little bit. And
Okay.
I am technically a farm type person, minded. And my heroes when I was growing up were John Wayne. I loved the way he talked and acted as a cowboy.
Now, you said maybe you didn't want to answer this question. What's your biggest regret?
I am not a person that has regrets that bother me.
Okay.
I think everybody. I mean, when you're a kid and you're a teenager, you think, oh, I just love to grow up. And grow up, and you think, oh, I'd like to be a movie star. Who wouldn't like to be a movie star? Well, I was not a movie star. I was a mother. So that just went by the wayside. But I never did dwell on things that bad.
Yeah.
I can adjust to different things.
Okay. The third question. What do you want others to remember you by, such as your family and friends?
Well, my family, because they were good people. And my mother was a great cook. My dad had a great sense of humor, and I have inherited a lot of that. And my daughter, Della D, has inherited a lot of humor. If you want to have a good joke or get, or she'll do something funny or tell you something funny. And she's that type of person. And what else was I going to say? I don't know. But as far as regrets, are you still on that?
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah. And as I say, I don't have really regrets. I mean, I'm going to be 93, 92 in a little while.
So you've done something right to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate right. Never gained an ounce. Ha And I just like to laugh. I like to have a good time. I do like to enjoy people, but I am a little military and I am very disciplined, like in regard to my children. I raised them with the claw. They went to church. If they didn't behave, I grabbed their knee. They got the claw. But they were good kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they just were. In those days, it was different. They didn't travel as much or have a chance to be naughty.
Okay, well, this is changing up a little bit. Question 4. What do you think of the current state of the country?
I am very concerned for the state of the country. We have a president now, President Biden, and he is leaning towards a socialist government. People are being overtaxed. I'm afraid that we're in for a bad recession, and we get too many people entering the country that are really kind of outlaws. They have criminal records before they even get here. And I don't know what's going on. We have abortion on demand, and we just had a governor in Wisconsin that the people voted in. Now, they had a chance to vote this person out for not being on the Supreme Court in Wisconsin, but they voted him in. And she's all for abortion. And sometimes I wonder what God thinks when he's looking down here. And he thinks, what's the matter with my people? They are not obeying the rules that he had put down. They just want to have a good time, live and let live. And I am really concerned for that.
Okay. Question 5. Who did you idolize growing up?
My parents and my grandma, my dad's parents were very influential because I was born on their farm. And my grandmother, my dad's mother, had a great sense of humor. She was an organist in a small church in Mondovi where I grew up. And she would sit down at the organ and play hymns. So I grew up singing the old Methodist and congregational hymns and things like that. And so as I mentioned those at our church, they look at me like I lost my mind. But that's the ones I really love because Grandma used to play them. And I stayed with my grandparents when I was in high school because they were a half mile in the country. And that way I got to go to high school. And I had to walk too, half a mile.
You walked half a mile?
Mm-hmm. To go to high school. And the first year. And then the second year, my sister was coming to high school too. So then we rented a room in a house. And folks had that. So there wasn't any buses then. So we had to really rough it. But we had a good time.
Good.
Mm-hmm. So
you kind of already answered this question. Question 6, what do you think of the current president? Obviously not much.
Not much at all. I'm afraid he's leading our country really astray, and he has a son that's a regular outlaw, and that son is not put in jail like he should be, and I am very concerned about our weapons. There's a lot of school mass shootings,
Yeah.
which is bad, but I know I don't believe in assault weapons either, as far as just walking in and buying them.
Yeah.
If you're a hunter, that's something different, but if you got just a good record that you're just a hunter and you want to have a sport, but we got bad people that are doing bad things, and our country is in turmoil as far as I'm concerned.
Question 7. Do you have any advice for today's youth?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I am very opinionated. I think there was some discussion about millenniums, how they aren't disciplining their children, and a lot of it is they got more money than we ever had when we were little, and so they can go places and they can do things, and your life is not consistent. I mean, if you go to a restaurant or you go out to a movie or someplace, you just, I don't know, you're a part of the crowd, and you can't keep control on your life and with the children either. And now they have iPads, iPhones, or all, what is that junk called? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
See,
tablets.
I am over the hill as far as
Yeah.
I can't keep up with all
they have a lot of
electronics.
electronic devices.
Mm-hmm. Can't keep up with that.
Okay.
So.
Question 8. Can you tell me about the toughest and greatest moments of your life? So the best and worst.
I don't know if I say I had worst.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of times I had strep throat where I thought I was going to die. But
when you were a little kid?
Well, I was teenager.
Okay.
Teenagers in 18 too. And they had to give me medicine that was something new. Doctor came to the farm out in the country 5 miles, and he would mix up the medicine and gave me that. Chloramycin, I remember the name. And
so you had a doctor that came to your house.
Mm-hmm. For that particular case,
yes.
It was, yeah. And anyway, and I always was interested in medicine anyway, so it was nice when 2 of my daughters became nurses. See, that was right up my thinking, so I enjoyed that type of thing. And other part of the questions was regret, or what was it?
Yep, toughest and greatest moments of your life.
The toughest.
So that you said you just gave an example of something bad about something.
Yeah,
the greatest
just
moment.
Being sick.
Yeah.
And the greatest, I guess, when you think back, it's the birth of your children.
Yeah.
You know, I might not have thought about it then at that time, but I do think of it now because my children were all born healthy. They led fairly respectable lives. But we just, this January 2023, we lost our second daughter, Barbara.
Right.
My husband did die in 2009, but he was tough, I was tough. Your life goes on, and that's the type of individual I am.
Yeah.
If you got things to do, you just do them. And I lived alone, and it was a new house, so in Mondovi, and took care of it and learned how to ride the riding lawnmower and pick up bags of grass. And I survived for 9 years like that. And then I decided to sell the house, and now I'm in a duplex. So I've been blessed. I really have been blessed.
Okay. Question 9. If you could do anything over again, what would it be?
See, I don't dwell on that. I really don't. I suppose if I was, younger, I would probably in my 40s or something like that. You might thinking that I do this over and
Right.
that over. I don't know. I never planned to have 4 children. I mean, God takes care of those things for you. As far as I'm concerned, you just adjust to it. And I'm not a person to have regrets.
Right.
Life goes on. I enjoy life. I enjoy people. And as long as they behave themselves like I think they should, because I have to say I'm more strict that way, I can't say I have regrets. I'm not that type of person.
Okay.
I enjoy my family. Really do.
Yeah, it's fine.
And right now I'm enjoying it because I'm at Wisconsin Dells. And I just had my first pizza Easter. All of us have had ham dinner or scalloped potato or something, but today
It's different.
we went to a big Catholic church, and I'm not Catholic either, I'm one of these conservative Lutherans, but it was a beautiful church. And afterwards we went to the pizza place and salad place, and I thought this is really different, and I really enjoyed it.
Good, good. Well, the last question. Can you tell me all your thoughts on God?
Oh, okay. I guess I've told you a little bit, or quite
Yes,
a bit, on the way through. God is very important to me, and I think there are too many people messing around thinking that God's just up there sitting and we can do whatever we want, and we can say, oh, I'm sorry, and you just keep on doing it, and people are going to be surprised, because what does he say? I am a God, I am a jealous God, I am a this or that. And when you read parts of the Bible, if he wanted to take you out, he took you out. I mean, people are messing around with God.
Yes.
And you just cannot do that at all. I don't think. He flooded the earth at one time to destroy wicked people. Hard tell what it will be the next time.
Yeah.
And I'm just, I don't know, I'm not pessimistic, but I think they underestimate how powerful God is.
Yeah.
And he's a powerful being. So.
That's a great answer.
Mm-hmm.
Great answer. Okay, well that's it. Is there anything else you want? Is there anything else? You say whatever you want.
I just hope and pray that my grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and I got both kinds because I've lived so many years, I'm old, and my one grandson calls me, like I said, once in a while the old hen, but we have fun, and I worry about them, but still, you have to, after a while, trust in God, that or else they'll find their way. And I didn't live a perfect life. They won't live a perfect life either. And but we're all trying.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all trying, and God will show us the way.
Yeah.
And I am real proud of my grandson. I'm trying to teach him lots of things. But
is he listening?
His name is Paul. Yeah. And I don't know. He's a part of our life. He's diabetic, and he's a good kid, but he's only what is your age? 33, I think he is now. Oh, he's getting to be an old man. So I tease him a lot. So, and that's part of my life, is teasing and laughing and having a good time as well as being serious. Okay?
Well, thank you. Is it okay for me to use this on my YouTube channel?
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Yes, you can.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.